In Q1 of 2022, the UK's GDP fell by 0.3%. In English, that means that our economy fell almost 0.5% in the first 3 months of this year. And if that happens again by the end of June, which is the end of Q2 of 2022, we will be officially in a recession. So here's how you can be mentally and financially prepared for this next one and the next however many that you might occur during your life. Let's go. Hey everyone, it's Lewis back again with another video, and today it's time to unfortunately talk recessions. But before we get into this one, I want to take a moment to say thank you for all of your support on the channel so far. It really has been amazing. I've been doing this since March now, and to have almost 100 subscribers in that short period of time is really cool and really awesome. Having said that, an overwhelming majority of you who do watch these videos aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you are enjoying them, please do consider joining the community I'm trying to build here so that you can truly learn more about money and hopefully become a little bit better off in the future. Also, we may be entering a recession, but that like button certainly shouldn't be. So give it a whack and we'll move on. I'll wait. Just you do that. Cool, we're good. Brilliant. Let's get on with it. Okay, so what is a recession? Well, according to the Oxford Dictionary, of course we're in the UK here, folks, we need to quote the Oxford Dictionary. A recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP, gross domestic product, in 2 successive quarters. In the world of finance, recessions are unfortunately inevitable, and some might even argue are necessary to kind of reset the economy back to normal levels. Why? Well, let's be honest, we're all human beings. We're very irrational creatures, and that comes especially with our money. When times are good, we get greedy. We spend way too much money. We think that any investment that we might make will just keep going up and never ever fall back down again. And we also think that our jobs are incredibly secure and there's just no way that you'll ever get let go of. So what's the point of saving up cash for emergencies? I'll just spend it on something that I really deserve, that I've done from all this hard work. Let's get a new car or something. So when times are bad, they're really bad for the overwhelming majority of us, even in one of the most powerful countries in the world, such as here in the UK. When a recession strikes, it comes out of the blue because people don't really understand it and therefore think that it doesn't really affect them. Until it does. Recessions affect us all in some way. They really do. And here's how. So firstly, consumers will cut back on their spending, and this really is why recessions happen in the first place. It is a little bit too simplistic to say that because there could also be other reasons why a recession starts, but the majority of recessions start because people just don't have that money to spend or won't spend it. Much like in 2020, when we were forced into a worldwide lockdown and we were literally forced to not spend money on things that we don't need. Kind of a good thing when you think about it in some ways. It might also be because inflation is running hot at that time like it is right now, so we can't afford as much as we used to, and so focus much more on our essentials as opposed to all of the other things that make us a bit happier, like holidays and clothes and things like that really. But during a recession, keeping money should mean a lot more to the average consumer than spending it. This is especially true for a consumer who may work in a sector that isn't necessary to everyday life. I'm talking in the discretionary spending category. Now, obviously, we still have to spend money on those essentials. Keeping a roof over our head, keeping that roof warm and light when needed, putting fuel in the car if it's the thing that gets you to work, and keeping food and drink in our bellies, not our chests. Why was I pointing to my chest then? Really? Okay. But after that, really, everything else is discretionary. Holidays, meals out to restaurants, going out drinking with your mates, watching Netflix, taking on a new project in the home or garden, getting yourself an Apple Watch. None of this is required to live. So naturally, those businesses who do sell more consumer discretionary items will suffer a lot more during a recession. One of the knock-on effects to this is the unemployment levels rising. The businesses that aren't part of that consumer staples sector, the essential spending I mentioned earlier, will suffer financially during a recession. This will cause businesses to cut back on employment, which will result in redundancies, layoffs, whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, however way you want to spell it, people lose jobs. Obviously, if you're doing something essential, such as being an emergency services worker in any way, or a lawyer, or working in essential retail, such as supermarkets that sell groceries, or work for the national grid, for instance, you'll be in a more secure position than if you worked for Netflix or Apple, shall we say. And again, that is generally speaking, because let's be honest, Apple can afford to pay their employees in pretty much any economic climate. They are the biggest company in the world. But at least you get the gist of what I mean. A great example to this right now actually is in the US, where again there is a fear of a recession. Coinbase, a company that I am at the moment unfortunately invested in, have begun a massive layoff system to their employees. I think they have at the moment, at the time of recording, have laid off a good couple of thousand employees. So you've got that aggressive growth in a good economic time of a company, but then when a recession comes and it hits, it really does go right back downhill. And then another knock-on effect to this is the markets, and I'm talking the investing markets, not your local market down your town, although that also will probably take an effect as well. But this is not just stock markets, it's also real estate markets, crypto markets, you really name it, it will probably fall in price and value. I mean, crypto will definitely fall. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with crypto, because it was literally born out of the last Great Recession in 2008. So this will be its first real test if we do enter a recession in 2022. So it will be very interesting to see what happens to the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum and other coins, but it will probably fall at least in the short term. Or should I just say continue to fall, because my God, being in crypto right now, it's tough. It's really tough. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to keep on telling myself that it's going to be okay. I try to keep on saying that Bitcoin is a great store of value. It's a great generational wealth builder. It's tough to say that when it's down about 60 to 80% in the space of a month, but hey ho, we move, folks. Diamond hands all the way over here, diamond hands all the way. So the reason that markets fall is because the overwhelming majority of retail investors won't have that cash buffer saved up on the side for emergencies, such as loss of job income, like I mentioned earlier before. So because of this, they'll have to sell out of their investments in either of the mentioned markets to get some money back to cover for short-term essentials until they get a new job. That's exactly where you don't want to be. You don't want to be stopping the power of compound interest in the stock market at any time. But it's what's happened during every single recession pretty much. 2008 was when the entire housing market collapsed. Real estate fell like a stone. People couldn't make the payments on their homes because they were taking out mortgages with such ridiculously low interest rates that they just couldn't afford the principal of. They were buying way too much house. So when that bubble inevitably burst, watch The Big Short, one of the best financial films of all time. People were getting evicted left, right and centre. They probably didn't even have the opportunity to sell their investments. They were being kicked out of them. So how do you stop all of this happening to you? How do you go from being potentially another statistic of a recession to being one of those who can actually afford to continue to buy investments at a much cheaper price and come out of a recession better off than when you went into one? I've preached it before and I'm going to preach it again. Save up some cash for emergencies. Get out of your debts. Live within or even better below your means during any economic period. Invest your money when you can, even if just passively into an ETF or an index fund. Continue to learn and hone your skills in your job in order to increase your income and increase your contributions to society. Take on some side hustles if you can. Get out there and take advantage of what this world has to offer you. Don't become just another statistic to a recession. Just because you want people on Instagram that you don't know and or don't care about to know that you're always living your best life. Just know that if you see someone driving down your street in a Lamborghini, yes, that might look amazing, but they are an entire Lamborghini poorer. They essentially spent a minimum of £165,000 just for people that they don't know to do this. Oh, wow, mate, look at that, a Lamborghini Huracan. Hey, man, that's so cool. Anyway, there it goes off into the distance. Sounds nice as well. Anyway, 165k for a 30-second head turn. Great use of your capital. So to wrap this video up, like I said right at the beginning, we'll know if we're in a recession or not officially by the end of this month, which is June of 2022. So keep an eye out on Yahoo Finance, Financial Times, wherever else you might get your financial news. See what the Bank of England is saying and if our GDP fell again during these last 3 months. If so, you now know exactly what to do in order to not only survive, but actually thrive during these times. So I really hope that you found this video helpful in some way, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing for more money related content. I post videos every Monday and Friday at 6:30 PM UK time, so make sure to stick around for that. Also, make sure to follow me on all of my socials for even more. Grab some free money and some free stocks using the links down below in the description, and remember, until next time, every quid counts. See you soon.